ni Sisi Band presenting music, Juvenalis, Kemarini, and the rest of us. Give us more music. Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome to Kenya, a country that is always sunny, almost always, ladies and gentlemen. Kuja kwenye safari, come we go on safari and see wild animals, the lion and everyone else roaring in the jungle. Karibuni Kenya, ni Sisi Band presenting. Karibuni.
matter who you are, you can go there all over. Every city has its gold, but everybody has a place where he was born. And mine is Kenya, so warm and wild and free. You always stay with me here in my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You always stay with me here in my heart, here in my heart. You only got one childhood and the memories that springs. When you see your house, the tree you planted, and all those precious things. The faces of the friends I have, the emotions that flow. When I close my eyes in the land I love, the land where I was born. My land is Kenya, so warm and wild and free. You always stay with me here in my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You always stay with me here in my heart, here in my heart. Only got one mama, only got one brother. You only got one life to live, no matter who you are. You can go there all over, every city has its gold, but everybody living has a place where he was born.
And then we continue welcoming the heads of state and government, and now the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Prime Minister of Japan. Welcome, Your Excellency. Welcome, Your Excellency. Thank you. Welcome, Your Excellency.
My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You always stay with me here in my heart, here in my heart.
Thank you, Mrs. Sibat. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you. Your Excellency, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister of Japan, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Excellencies, ticad co-organizers, Heads of Delegations, distinguished delegates. We continue with our program today, and I request Mrs. Band to do one song, Karibuni Kenya, as we continue with our program, as we continue welcoming all the distinguished excellencies and delegates to Kenya. Karibuni Kenya, Mrs. Band.
jambo rafiki.
I will now invite the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs Kenya, Ambassador Dr. Amina Mohamed, to take us through today's program. Waziri karibu.
Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Idris Deby, Chairman of the African Union Summit, Your Excellency Mr. Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister of Japan, Your Excellency Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, Chair of the African Union Commission, our co-organizers, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We're now coming to the grand finale of the ticad6 Summit. It has been 5 days of stimulating discussions and engagement. We have together evaluated our partnership and we've agreed on how we shall proceed for the next 3 years. That is until we meet again in Japan for ticad7. As host country, we are delighted to have had all of you here and wish to thank you all for your dedicated participation. It was a delight to welcome you to our city, and I hope that your experience in Nairobi, in Kenya, during the summit and after will be memorable, and that it will be motivation enough for you to return in a different capacity. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the Nairobi Declaration and its implementation plan will enhance our partnership, create awareness in the general African populace, and move our partnership to the next level. The African and Japanese private sector have sent us a very strong signal. A signal on the need to have open and integrated regional markets across the continent, and ultimately a continental free trade area that provides a safe, facilitative, and conducive environment to do business. Your Excellencies, honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, as we wind up, I would like to remind us all that the ticad process is a partnership that should be mutually beneficial to Africa and its partners. This partnership was conceived to address Africa's social and economic development. I'm confident that with its alignment to Agenda 2063, our beloved agenda, the ticad process shall remain on track towards achieving that objective. I wish to take this opportunity to wish you all God's mercies as you travel back home, and a pleasant stay for the many who choose to spend some days in our country. It's now my singular honor and privilege to request His Excellency, the Chairman of the African Union Summit, to take over. Thank you, sir.
Bien, Monsieur le Premier ministre, mon cher ami,
my friend Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, my dear friend co-organizer of ticad, ladies and gentlemen, heads of state and governments, heads of delegations, distinguished guests. We are picking up our work for the closing ceremony, but before that, we need to formally adopt the final document, which is Nairobi Declaration. This document, having been approved unanimously by our ministers, can now be adopted if you have no reservations and you are agreeable to the content by acclamation. And so it has been decided. Next, in our closing ceremony, I will give the floor to His Excellency the Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, so that he can make his remarks. Your Excellency, Prime Minister, you have the floor.
Their Excellencies Presidents, distinguished representatives of states and international organizations, ladies and gentlemen. The 6th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, ticad6, held for 2 days, starting August the 27th, is now coming to a close. Under the theme of Advancing Africa, Sustainable Development Agenda, TICAD Partnership for Prosperity, at this ticad6, we discussed on how we should respond to the development agenda facing Africa. Participating states, international institutions, and civil society organizations and others have been giving wonderful inputs during discussion on issues such as how to promote structural reform through diversification and industrialization of the African economies, as well as how to build a resilient healthcare system and promote stability in society. Through invigorated debate, we were able to indicate a concrete direction in the form of Nairobi Declaration and an implementation plan by affirming our resolve to walk hand in hand forward so that a ray of sunshine epitomizing African growth will shine everywhere and every corner on the African continent. We were heartened by the presence of the private sector in all the sessions, providing valuable input. In order for Africa to continue to grow as a continent, private businesses have a crucial role to play. Thus, with your participation, ticad6 has achieved an even greater result than the past meetings. And as the chair of the TICAD, I thank all of you for your contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, TICAD is a responsible forum. It is vital, therefore, to steadfastly put into action the implementation plan. The plan shall be our guidance, as both the public and private sectors in Japan will vigorously proceed forward in our cooperation with Africa. As for the total of $30 billion of commitment from public and private sectors combined, which I have already announced, will be definitely mobilized and disbursed in close cooperation with broad-based stakeholders. Lastly, I would like to express my deep respect to the co-organizers of TICAD, and in particular to my esteemed co-chairs, His Excellency President Kenyatta of the Republic of Kenya, as well as His Excellency President Debbie Itno of the Republic of Chad, for their superb chairmanship in guiding the conference. Thank you.
Following that, we have a speech. That is after the speech by the Prime Minister of Japan, His Excellency Shinzo Abe. It is my turn now to make my statement, and after me, the co-organizer, the president of the host country, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta.
Monsieur le Président,
Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, dear brother, His Excellency Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister of Japan, ladies and gentlemen, heads of state and government, heads of delegations, Madam Chairperson of the African Union Commission, ladies and gentlemen, representatives of co-organizing institutions, ladies and gentlemen, honorable ministers, your excellencies, the ambassadors, representatives of international, regional, sub-regional organizations, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. At the end of our work, I would like to welcome the quality of our discussions that were rich, intense, that were characterized by joint commitment to strengthen further our partnership, the pertinence of the discussion that we have had, the quality of the different thematic sessions, and especially the adoption of the Nairobi Declaration and Nairobi Implementation Plan are tangible fruits of our renewed commitment to have an efficient and vibrant partnership for the development of Africa in line with African Union's development agenda and the United Nations. I would like to laud in this regard the availability of His Excellency Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to stand with us, to support us in a sustainable manner by taking into consideration our concerns, by mobilizing more private Japanese investment in key development areas. The priority areas that are captured in the document underscore structural transformation of our economies through diversification of the economy, industrialization, promotion of resilient health systems and social stability are going to ensure harmonious and sustainable growth. However, without effective implementation, a quick implementation of the commitments made, it will be difficult to meet the objectives that have been set out. In this regard, like we stated in our opening statements, we would like to underscore ownership and partnership, the need to have a joint monitoring mechanism and key indicators to take stock of the implementation of this project. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I would like to thank you all for your valuable contributions and to express to you, Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, our gratitude for the seamless organization of ticad6. I would also like to thank, on your behalf, all the interpreters, the Secretariat, the press, all the technical and security persons who have ensured successful organization of this summit. I wish you all safe return to your countries. Thank you.
Bien, le dernier mot revient.
The last word is now incumbent on the host, Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. You have the floor.
Chairman of the African Union, President Idris Deby of Chad, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe of Japan, Excellencies, as was stated, distinguished partners, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this 6th ticad summit, and I, on behalf of all my colleagues and fellow heads of state, want to simply and sincerely thank all of Africa's partners and friends who are in attendance for contributing to a very spirited dialogue and productive exchange over the last 2 days. I also want to extend special thanks to Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, the people of Japan, and all the co-organizers of this event, including the African Union Commission, UNDP, the OSSA, and the World Bank Group, for their investment towards making this historic conference possible. I would also be amiss if I did not single out Ambassador Ben Oguto from Kenya, the Special Envoy to TICAD, and the Director General of the ticad6 Secretariat, and the entire team who worked tirelessly over the course of many months to deliver an exceptional summit. Their labor has not been in vain, and I think we can agree that the conference has been a success. Once again, a tremendous vote of thanks to each and every stakeholder who made this happen. And thank you to all of you. Over 6,000 of you attending this conference. I think we all have a reason to be proud, not just of the valuable insights that we have shared, but crucially, of the tangible outcomes that we have agreed to. These, as has been said, are extensively outlined in the Nairobi Declaration, which we collectively adopted in the course of our meeting. The Declaration provides a blueprint for our continued engagement as stakeholders in this continent over the next 3 years. It encompasses a wide range of issues, from infrastructure to energy, to health systems, food security, regional cooperation, and the participation of the private sector in meeting these objectives. It is specific, measurable, and actionable, and I am confident that through its implementation, the people of Africa can truly look forward to a brighter, more prosperous future for themselves and for their children. This declaration is not just another document, not just as this conference was not just another meeting. Indeed, through this engagement, we have been reminded of how far Africa has come, how quickly her fortunes have changed, and how drastically our world has evolved along in terms of its approach to the continent. Both our continent and our world have come so far from the era where decisions about Africa's future were made in distant hallways and boardrooms in shadowy corners of the world that were unknown to most of Africa's citizens. Decisions made by amorphous institutions that made little sense to ordinary Africans. We have come so far from the time when solutions were prescribed without the input of Africa's people. Indeed, looking back to the very origins of our continent, we have come so very far from another conference that took place in Berlin just over a century ago, where the very existence of our nation states was arbitrarily authorized by ignorant powers who knew neither the plight, nor the needs, nor the wants or desires of African peoples. The synergistic spirit of this conference stands in such marked contrast to the sinister spirit of that one many, many years ago. And it is what gives me hope that all the outcomes we have agreed to at this meeting, together, through discussion, debate, negotiation, and dialogue, have every hope of not just being implemented, but of bringing about the kind of transformative change that we all long for on our continent. As we have heard, that change is already underway, and I believe that that change will come. And I want to particularly thank the government of Japan for believing in that change, for believing in the future of this continent, and for seeking actively to forge a shared future of prosperity with us, rather than trying to do things for us. For seeking to be a partner to Africa, rather than, to paraphrase my father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, being a professional friend. A partnership, developing and building a partnership that is mutually beneficial. And I am confident that as the world continues to engage Africa in that spirit, the cooperation will benefit not just the people of Africa, but the citizens of the world at large, who will no doubt be improved by the technical, cultural innovation, and ideas of a truly liberated African people who have all the opportunities of the world open to them. Let us keep moving together to that day. We are closer to it now than we have ever been before. Once again, in conclusion, I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of all the people of Kenya, and to say thank you all for coming and making this conference the success that it was. For those of you staying on, I hope you will enjoy the beauty of our country and the warm hospitality of our people. For those who are leaving, we wish you journey mercies in your travels and hope life brings us together again in the near future. I thank you, and once again, may God bless Africa, may God bless the strong partnership and cooperation between Africa and Japan. I thank you.
Bien.
I think you can leave now. We are now coming to a close of this meeting. The only thing I will do is request His Excellency the Prime Minister with His Excellency the President, the Prime Minister, and myself, we have a press conference. So the journalists are here. We request you to leave the room, and we'll be left here for that press conference. The journalists are waiting for us. Safe journey, Johnny Masters back home.
Chairman, well done. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Vous ne me connaissez pas, mais je connais, vous savez, la français, et il faut que je suis. J'ai été patron de quelques années. Ça crée un lien direct aujourd'hui. Merci. Vous êtes la quelle trois éléments, la santé, le développement de la vie durable et la sécurité. C'est un plaisir de vous parler. Je vais vous laisser une carte. Alors, j'en ai deux parce que je travaille d'une part au ministère de l'Affaires étrangères, je m'occupe aussi au programme d'investissement d'avenir. Et donc, si jamais on partage à Paris, vous aviez un enfant de loisir, c'est très intérêt. Merci beaucoup.
You only got to pray. You only got to love to me. No matter who you are, you can go the whole world over and see Jesus is going. And everybody has a place where he was born. And mine is Kenya, so warm and wild free. You always stand with me, hearing my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You always stay with me, hearing my heart, hearing my heart. One time, and the memories that springs. When you see your house, the tree you climbed, and all those precious things. The faces of the friends I had, they even turned the floors. When I close my eyes in the land I love, the land where I was born. My land is Kenya, right from the highlands to the sea. You always stay with me, hearing my heart. My land is Kenya, highlands to the sea. You always stay with me, hearing my heart, hearing my heart. You can go the whole world over, have a city Everybody living has a place where he